Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Welcome back. If you're new, hi. I'm getting ready to head out for work. I thought I'd just pop in and say hello. So it's 9:25 in the morning, and my vlogs here, like the last one I did at least, has kind of been revolved around like what I'm eating for weight loss, because I have been losing weight. I've lost 10 pounds. I started trying to eat better back in March. We're now like first full week of May. So I've lost 10 pounds in like a little over a month. I think I would have lost more, but it's hard with children and food is in your face. And I have had McDonald's a few times and like A, B, C, and D, whatever. So I'm getting ready to head out for work. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet. I took a job at my kids' school as a lunch lady. So I currently do like the checkout. I don't cook or prep or anything, but I do the checkout for the lunch lady stuff. It's like 2.5 hours a day, but I'm technically there for 3 because the lunch ladies who work morning shift and afternoon shift, they have their lunch from 10 to 10:30. And so they highly encourage everybody to come at 10 o'clock and eat, because that's our time to socialize. So, and it's free food, so like, why not? So today is chicken quesadilla. It was a little confusing on the lunch menu. It said vegetable medley, but then under that I said vegetable, so I don't know what that means. There's going to be different kinds of vegetables. And then I said pineapple. So what I have been doing is lower carb. I will go ahead and eat the chicken quesadilla. I normally, whatever they serve, I eat it. So even if it's a little more high calorie that day, I feel like school stuff is very portioned out, and there's always a lot of vegetables and a decent amount of fruit, which I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that if you eat your fruits and your vegetables first before you eat anything else on your tray, that the parts in your body, I don't know terminology, but whatever parts soak up the nutrients, they will be busy having soaked up the vegetables and the fruits, so that when it comes down to the bad stuff you're eating, they don't have as much to go around for soaking up the bad stuff. So that's more likely just to go through you than to get absorbed into the body and turn into body fat. I could be wrong on that. I don't know for sure, but it sounds good, and there's nothing wrong with eating your vegetables first. So that's what I've been doing. But typically they've got a whole second menu option that's available. A lot of times it's like the day before's leftovers, but it's Monday, so I'm not sure that there will be anything. I've only been like I think this is like my 4th week working, so I'm not up on how everything works exactly, especially since I don't do the breakfast shift and I don't do any cooking. I just cash people out, so I'm still figuring things out. So there might be something else there. Regardless, normally I get a lot of vegetables on my plate. Sometimes I just get like a big salad, or we had tangerine chicken last week with rice, and instead of doing that, I just put tangerine chicken in my salad. I won't be able to film at the school because children, but just kind of give you an idea. That's probably what I'm going to eat or close to it. I'll probably talk about it when I get home from work, but I'm going to head on out the door. Hello vlog, I am off of work. I hate having to wear my hair up like this. I feel like I'm a good guy. Look at my dad. Yeah, heading on home. I gotta go get Ira. My cousin watches him for an hour while I finish my shift. So I gotta go get him, and then we've gotta head to Walmart and get a few groceries. We're not getting a whole lot this week. We don't need a ton, just some of our staple items we're out of. Excuse me. I want to go to Kroger for some apples, but I don't really want to go to Kroger and Walmart, so we're like opposite sides of town. But Kroger had really good apples. We got some, I don't think it was last week, I think it was the week before. But Kroger pricing is a little more expensive, even with your Kroger card. And I was trying to compare prices, and like for chicken nuggets, it's like $1.50 difference. And I know that's not a lot, but like it adds up when you're buying multiple items. Like I know the yogurt is like another, and it's like, if it's not $1.50, it's $2 difference. And I've been eating a lot of Greek yogurt, and so, and we need cheese, and like I didn't even price the cheese, but I just feel like, I don't know, Kroger can have really good stuff sometimes at really good prices, but I feel like on average it's more expensive. And I know people in my personal life, even on YouTube, will talk about Kroger related companies, about how much more affordable it is, and I'm like, I just don't see it. Like if you compare Kroger, even their store brand, to like Walmart, at least in my area. And I've got coworkers who are talking about their Kroger purchases recently, and my cousin, talking about how much cheaper it is. I'm like, how is it cheaper than Walmart? Because what I'm comparing is more expensive. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but like I'm on the app, like trying to price check, and then I'm cross-checking with Walmart. I think what the issue is that Walmart has more options, and so you buy more stuff. That's my opinion. I feel the same way about Aldi. I feel like, well, I know for sure, at least our Aldi has raised their prices ever since they got a newer building, and the prices are comparable to Walmart, and you get smaller amounts in your items. But Aldi as a store has less to offer, so you spend less money. And then you go to Walmart to buy stuff, and you're like, wow, I spent a lot at Walmart, but there's more options, more things to buy. You had your home goods. Did you buy a new t-shirt? Is there pet supplies that you needed that you couldn't get someplace else? Like, I think when it comes dollar to dollar, and I'm not over here trying to advertise for Walmart, it's just my own personal frustrations of like trying to make sense of it. Like, how does everybody feel like they're saving money at Kroger and Aldi when, like, if I sit down and do the math, on average, now Aldi, I will say, typically their stuff is a little cheaper, but when you look at how much you're getting per ounce, like their meatballs, it's been a minute since I shopped at Aldi, but last I bought meatballs at Aldi, I want to say I spent a little over $3 for a bag of meatballs. The smaller size bag of meatballs at Walmart is a little over $5. But when you compare how much you're getting from the bigger bag of, it's a slightly bigger bag at Walmart to Aldi. But when you do comparison and break it down, the Aldi ones work out to be a little bit more expensive because you're getting less. And it's like, it's just not, like, Aldi was great when we didn't have children, or when we had small children who like were on formula and baby food. And it was just me and my husband. But like now I've got kids to feed. Oh, there's a dirt devil out there. I wish I could film that. I always think those are kind of cool. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a tiny tornado. But anyway. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. Is it worth going to Kroger, even though I know it's going to be a little bit more money? I'm going to save me the trip and I get the better apples. I will say the apples were comparable in price. They might have been at like 50 cents more expensive for their bag of apples versus Walmart, but the quality of the apples was like way better than what we get. They were big, they were juicy, they were delicious. They were some good apples. They were worth that extra 50 cents. I'm kind of like, do I go do that and then have to spend extra for everything else, or I want to run around town to multiple places? Like, what do I want to do, you know? So that's what I'm trying to figure out and decide. Lunch today was a cheese and chicken quesadilla. It was okay. Like, for free food, I'm not complaining. Would I make it at my own house? Probably not. But I ate one of those with some sour cream, and there was mixed vegetables, and there was cheese sauce left over from, we did Crispitos or something like that. It makes me think a lot like a taquito, but maybe taquito's a name brand, I'm not sure. And these are bigger than taquitos, but it's basically a crunchy corn tortilla wrapped up with beef, basically the same thing as a taquito. So we had those on Friday, so those were the leftover option for today, and there was cheese sauce to go with that, so I put some of the cheese sauce on. I mixed vegetables, and I had pears, I had corn, and school lunch, standard school lunch. But anyway, I'm almost home, so I will. What are you doing? You're backing down the highway. Hello, sir. I mean, I know there's not really any cars. He missed his turn, and so he just threw it in reverse and went down the highway. So anyways, I'm almost home, so I'll check in with you guys later and show you guys what I'm eating for dinner. Okay, I didn't film for a little bit because something very embarrassing happened. I had $180 worth of groceries at Walmart. I went to pay, and my card kept declining. Last I had known, we had like $500 in the bank account. So I called my husband, and I'm like, my card keeps declining. How much is in the account? Like, what's going on? And he looks it up. He's got the mobile banking app on his phone. I don't. I need to put it on mine. I just never have. And he's like, there's $112 in there. I just like immediately got in my feels, feeling so embarrassed that I was like, okay, and I hung up and called over. He's also like getting ready for a job interview, so I felt bad because I felt like I was like pestering him, like he's trying to get ready for his interview, and like, so I flag over lady and I'm like, I am so sorry. I thought we had money in the account and we don't, and I cannot pay for any of this. Like, just, I didn't even know, like, logically speaking, I could have just taken some items off and bought a few things, but I was just so embarrassed and flustered that I was like, I can't pay for any of it. And I took Ira and left, and I cried all the way home because I was so embarrassed. And I texted my husband. I'm like, that was so fucking embarrassing. And of course he's in his job interview at this point. So I get home, me and Ira snuggle on the couch. I come in here and I get out the bread maker and I start getting some bread going. And my husband calls me and he's like, I moved the money over from savings. Why didn't you buy the stuff? And I was like, you told me we had $112 left in the bank account. And he's like, yeah. And then I told you I just transferred the money over to try again, but you hung up. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, the money got moved over to savings and I didn't know it. And because I don't have the banking app on my phone, I can't check it. And I'm just like, what the hell happened to all the money we had? And earlier when I told him I was going grocery shopping, the reason he didn't move money over is because initially I told him I was just going to get some apples and some yogurt and some chicken nuggets, which shouldn't cost that much. Like $112 should have been more than enough to cover that. But then I decided to buy more stuff that he wasn't aware that I was going to buy. And so, and before anybody says anything about my husband transferring money over without telling me, I had told him to transfer a big chunk of money over into savings because we have our car insurance coming out. And the conversation we had, he was like, maybe I misunderstood it, or maybe he misunderstood me, but I thought he said that there wasn't a big point in doing that. Just leave the money in the savings, or just leave the money in the regular checking. Because my idea was to put it in the savings so we didn't touch it or anything. And anyways, he ended up moving the money to savings like I'd asked him to do, but I didn't know he did it. So all of that embarrassment and crying, come to find out that we actually had the money, just needed moved over, which my husband did. And I could have paid for the stuff, but I had already left the store. So I don't know if I'm going to make the trek back out to Walmart because we live in what's considered a food desert. Like, we are every bit of 20 to 25 minutes away from town, our nearest town, and it can be up to 30 minutes to get to a different town. And there are some towns that are closer, but they are like very small. One of them has a Dollar General. Our town's getting a Dollar General, moving up in the world. Cannot wait for that. I told my husband that we need to get like those old lady baskets you see the old ladies use, like the wire baskets with the handle and with the, and it's on like wheels, and then we can live like we're in Europe and just walk down to the market, the Dollar General, and get our groceries there because it's going to be a fresh market. It's going to have fruits and vegetables. Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to go all the way back out there. At least not today. I'm not feeling it. Unless the husband gets home and he wants to drive, I don't feel like doing that. So, and the other town has a Needlers, which is similar to what Marsh used to be, but they're very expensive. And I don't trust their cooler cases. I've bought stuff there before and brought it home and it was rotten. And other people have said they've had the same problems. Like, I don't really like to buy stuff there, especially like dairy. Their meat cases are fine, and a lot of times you can find really good deals on meat, so we'll buy stuff there when it's on sale and put it in the freezer. But like when it comes to other stuff, I feel like it's a bit salty priced. So anyways, I made Levi up some, I don't know how to pronounce that. We call them puff chips. He loves them and my husband likes them. My mother-in-law got us like 3 boxes years ago at this point. This is the last one left. Levi would have been an itty bitty thing when we first got those. We don't make them often, but they still work. I don't like them. Ira doesn't like them, but Levi loves them. And my husband, if they're getting made, likes them, but he's not home right now. He had to work at the office today. And got tea in the refrigerator. I just made up a gallon of that. I had it sitting out all day, basically steeping. So that's ready. Oh, We've got like a bunch of like chocolate bars basically from Easter sitting around. We've got Easter bunnies, chocolate crosses. There's still a couple of chocolate Santa sitting around, and I've got this and another bag of almonds. I do like to snack on almonds. And I'm kind of contemplating trying to do like chocolate covered almonds. I'm just not quite sure how to do it. Like if I melt the chocolate and then mix in the almonds and then pour it out on like a baking sheet, but then do I have, I'm looking up here because I've got like foil. I'm looking to see if I have any parchment paper, but I don't know that I do. I've got like the baggies, the storage baggies. I've got foil. I don't know what this one is. Are you parchment paper? You are clear plastic food wrap. So I don't know how I would get that on like great angles. Don't fall off on my face. I don't know how to get it off because I have like that freezer paper. Would freezer paper work? I don't think that works the same as like wax paper. Plastic wrap. When my grandma, if you guys are new here, we inherited my grandmother's house years ago, along with everything inside. And she had a lifetime supply of cling wrap and plastic bags, freezer paper. I still have like a ton. Like, so everybody's like, why do you have so much of that stuff? Like, why are you reading all these labels? Because I inherited a lifetime supply of it. I threw a lot out just because it was an overwhelming amount, and a lot of it was like open, like the baggies, and spilling out everywhere. Looking back on it, I was younger. I didn't have kids yet, and I just wanted to get the house cleaned up so we could live in it. And looking back on there, like, she's a low-key little bit of a hoarder. Looking back on it, I should have taken more time to sort out those kind of things. And I know my mom, if she's watching this, she's like, I told you so. But Mom, you're right. Oh well, what's done is done. But she just had an overwhelming amount of stuff, just everything. Just, there was so much like expired canned foods to go through, the refrigerator, the whole thing smelled like freezer burn. It was nasty. The whole thing had to get cleaned out. You'd move a piece of furniture and there's stuff stuffed behind the furniture. Like we lived there for 5 years, I want to say, and it took like the first 2 or 3 to really get things cleaned out. It was an overwhelming amount of stuff, and trying to live around her stuff and our stuff. And we wanted to use our stuff, and like, it was overwhelming. Like, it was a blessing, but also it was like an overwhelming blessing of like, what do we do with all of this? So like everything that was ripped open and falling out of the boxes, instead of finding a different way to store it, I just threw it out because I felt like I was taking so much time sorting things every day. And at the time I worked like 4 days a week. Or was I working full-time at that point? I think I was working full-time at the grooming salons at that point. So anyways, it's not like I just had all the free time in the world. Like, I had to work, and then I got pregnant, and then I didn't have a job when I was pregnant. Anyways, that's like, we're going off on a tangent here, but still, like, it was a lot to go through. Anybody who's ever inherited a hoarder house, and we're not talking hoarders like what you see on the TV show hoarders. Like, her hoarding was like managed. Like, her home was livable. We moved in and lived. It was clean. Like, she was a clean hoarder. But like I said, like, you move out furniture and like stuff fell from behind the furniture, and like she was horribly bad. I know, you need to go potty. She was horribly bad about like not cleaning out the rotten food from her refrigerator, so that was a bad part. And then she hoarded a lot of like canned goods, even past the point of being expired, which I know within reason they're still good, but at some point you gotta let it go. And she still had stuff from like the early 2000s, like this stuff that was well past the point. But other than that stuff in her kitchen, like, I'd say she was very much a clean hoarder. She just, like, a lifetime supply of soap. I still don't have to buy bar soap. Like, it's been, gosh, we've been to this house for 3 years and that one for 5. So, 8 years. And, like, I still don't have to buy bar soap. Because it's just got a lifetime supply of it. Same with, like I said, the cling wrap and stuff. Like, I do use that more than I thought that I would, especially now that I have kids. But it was just a lifetime supply of it, and like just gobs of stuff. So anyways, kind of trying to figure out, how do I want to do chocolate covered almonds, or would it be better just to chop up the chocolate bars and add them in with the almonds, then I feel like if I give it to the kids, they're just gonna pick all the chocolate out. Because like they do like nuts, but given the option between nuts and chocolate, like they're gonna eat the chocolate. So if I melt it and mix it all together, they eat both. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. So this is kind of a hard process to film because working with chocolate is something that like you have to work quickly with. If you work with chocolate, you know, and hopefully I didn't mess it up, but I did one chocolate Santa and about a third of a chocolate bunny that was left over. And I made myself a little double boiler, so just like water and a pot to boil by itself. And then in this pot, I put the chopped up Santa and chocolate bunny. And then I added in a, I don't know, tablespoon, I guess, half a tablespoon of almond butter. And then I also greased this entire sheet with almond butter. Put this in with the chocolate, melted it all. Once your chocolate starts melting, you gotta, 1, don't get it wet or it's just fucked. And 2, keep it moving because you don't want it to burn. So my husband came in and helped me. He put he shook the almonds into the chocolate once it was melted so that I could keep the chocolate turning. And as soon as everything was coated, we put it here on the baking pan. So I'm just gonna pop these into the fridge, let them hopefully harden up. Hopefully the coconut oil was a good idea and these can get hard as chocolate does. It's been a few years since I've worked with coconut oil, but my last job, I remember doing the double boiler thing before, and I feel like we put, it was either a little bit of butter or a little bit of coconut oil. We put something in there to help, like, I don't want to say thin it out, but like make it workable. I could be wrong, and I could have just wasted all of this, but we'll see. Hopefully it hardens up, and then hopefully I can get it out of the pan. And then we'll have some chocolate covered almonds. It may be chocolate covered almond clusters, but if somebody will eat these, PG. And then I also found these up in the cabinet when I was looking for the almond mix. I forgot we had them. So I'm gonna make these up and the kids can have these for breakfast this week. So here's my dinner for tonight. I've got leftover green beans, potatoes, and then I've got a pork fritter I did up. I put a little mayonnaise on top and some pickles. I was trying to make bread, but flour fell down inside of the bread maker. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't take the baking pan out when I filled it, and it all fell in and it started burning and it gave me an instant migraine. So that kind of ruined my appetite. Like, I was hungry before that, so that's why I'm gonna eat something, but like my head is killing me from the smell of that burnt flour. So I'm gonna have that. My husband wanted 2 of them, and then we've got bread going. Looks like it's about done. So we've got bread in the oven. I had to do it that way. Okay, the bread is ready. It is hot, and I'm going to have a slice of bread with a little honey on top. Homemade bread is so good. That's my first slice of bread, and like since early March. Hi, hello. I completely fell off when it came to this vlog. I am so sorry, and I have no idea where I even left off. So today is Wednesday, and I just finished making dinner. So let me turn you around. So for tonight, we're having egg roll bowls. So it's like you just get 1 bag of the coleslaw mix. It doesn't have any dressing. It's just your shredded cabbage and your carrots, and it's ready for you to add sauce, I should say. And then I did 1 pound of ground sausage, but I've seen people use turkey. I've seen it done with ground beef. Just use whatever you want. And then I use teriyaki sauce. I haven't tried it yet. Hopefully it's good. You're supposed to use soy sauce. I got it mixed up and I grabbed the wrong thing, but I will let you know how it tastes here in a minute. Right now it's piping hot. It just finished. So we're gonna put this in a bowl and I'll check in with you in a minute. Okay, so this is really good. I will say the sausage flavor kind of takes over. I don't really taste the teriyaki, so I don't know if it just needs more in it. It's supposed to have soy sauce, and I feel like that would be a stronger flavor. So if you make it at home, get the soy sauce. But this is pretty good. I think we'll make it again. My husband got seconds. This is my seconds. And really, it's a good guilt-free dinner. It's just ground meat and then vegetables. Hey guys, so I don't even remember when I started this particular vlog. It's been days ago. So we're just gonna wrap things up with today. Breakfast, I skipped this morning. I ate lunch at the school. The school we had grilled chicken sandwiches, which I just took mine off the bun. I put some mayonnaise on top of my chicken patty with some pickles on top, ate it like that. Had a serving of peas, a serving of pears, and was there something? Oh, sweet potato fries. I had that. And I came home, I stole some of my kids' Oreo cookies. He had a pack, I think it comes in like I think it's a 6-pack Oreos, and I stole 2 of those, and now we're doing dinner. So this is dinner for tonight. Got some leftover green beans that we made up. This is Monday. We had those on Saturday. And then I've got 2 pork chops. I've got some roasted potatoes. I did those up in the air fryer. Just cubed them and put them in the air fryer with a little bit of seasoning on them. It's like a Parmesan kind of seasoning, and then like some oil to help crisp them. I'm gonna dip them in this black truffle hot sauce, which is super tasty. We got it at Walmart. Highly recommend. But that's gonna be everything for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. I hope to catch you guys in my next one. Okay, I lied. It is 7:57 at night, and I want something sweet. So I'm getting some plain yogurt with honey, some apples, and then before this I had a strawberry freezer pop, which was homemade from frozen strawberries that I blended with a little bit of water, and I think I put in like maybe a tablespoon of sugar. It wasn't much, and then I put them into the molds. So I had one of those, and I'm having this will end my night.